Okay, the meeting will now come to order in accordance with Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 executive order. Be advised that this meeting of the Revere License Commission will be held by remote participation only. There's a link on the city website to join. The following matters will come before the Revere License Commission today at our regularly scheduled meeting. The meeting previously filed with the city clerk. The first things we'll do is take applications submitted for consideration. The first item number 1, Bell's Circle Associates, DBA Comfort Inn and Suites, 85 American Legion Highway. Gary L. Saunders is the manager. This is an application for a change of manager for hotel and inn holder, parking lot, and common victular licenses. The application of Bell Circle Associates, DBA Comfort Inn and Suites, is for a change of manager to Meredith White. Is there someone on behalf of Comfort Inn and Suites here? I'm sorry, you're muted.
Sorry, that is myself, Meredith White. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you today?
Great, how are you?
Great, thank you. Basically, if you could just explain a little bit about your background and what, tell us what you're going to do here as the manager, and we'll be good to go.
Perfect. So I am the general manager at the Comfort Inn and Suites in Revere, and I've been there a little over 4 years as the general manager. So I oversee the daily operations. I'm there 5 to 6 days per week, managing the whole operation.
Very good. Thank you. Do you have any plans to change it when you take over as the manager of the operation?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Are there any changes planned that we should be aware of?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Thank you. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
I have no questions. I read over the application and I have no questions.
Commissioner Osina?
I reviewed the documents as well, and I have no issue with it, and I have no questions.
Very good. I just have one question. We received the communication from the deputy fire chief regarding the park and fly facility there. Ms. White, if you could you explain who is leasing the park and fly operation from Comfort Suites? How many companies are doing that at the moment?
So we manage that ourselves. No one is leasing space from us at the moment.
Okay.
We sell overnight park and fly packages. So guests will park and then they'll fly out for somewhere between 3 and 14 days.
Okay. So you don't have a entity that's running a ongoing strictly park and fly operation. All
No,
of your vehicles are overnight guests?
correct, yes.
Good. Okay. I have no further questions. I'll have to open this up. Are there any, I'll close this section. Are there any proponents? Is there anyone else that would like to speak on behalf of Comfort Suite? I don't see or hear any. We'll close that part of the hearing. Are there any opponents? Anybody opposed to the transfer? I do not hear or see any. We'll close that section. I will, commissioners want to make a motion here?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
The motion is approved. The application for a change of manager for hotel inn holder, parking lot, and common victual licenses to the manager, Meredith White, is approved. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, and moving on, this will be item number 2. Ambrose Foods, LLC, DBA Pizza Hut, 37230, 5 Everett Street. Janelis Gomez is the man. This is an application for a transfer of a common victuals license. The transfer from Redberry Resto Brand International. Said license to be exercised at 5 Everett Street. Seating is for 0. The requested hours of operation are to be Sunday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., Monday, 11:30 a.m. to 11 p.m., Tuesday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Friday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m.
I will need someone to raise their hand. There are too many attendees for me to determine who belongs with this license application. Just one moment.
Is there someone here on behalf of Ambrose Foods? Hello,
Hello, good afternoon.
good afternoon. Your name and address for the record, please?
My name is Alejandra Madrid. The address of my business is 5 Everett Street. It's Pizza Hut, Ambrose Foods.
Very good. Can you explain what you plan to do with the license?
It's just to operate our restaurant, our business, like you used to be with Red Berry.
Very good. Now, were you working at the place when it was Redberry?
Yes, I am.
Very good. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
No, again, I've read the application and it seems like there's no changes in hours or operation. So I have no questions.
Very good. Thank you.
Neither do I.
Very good, Commissioner Osina. Thank you. I will close that part of the hearing. Are there any proponents? Is there anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of Ambrose Foods LLC and the transfer of this common victualer's license? I don't see or hear anyone. I'll close that section. Are there any opponents? Is there anybody opposed to the transfer of this license? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. One of my fellow commissioners like to make a motion.
I move to approve the application for transfer of a common vicular license submitted on behalf of Ambrose Foods.
I'll
Very-
second the motion.
Very good. The application for transfer of a common victualer's license from Redberry Resto Brand International, Inc. to Ambrose Foods LLC, DBA Pizza Hut is approved. The license will be exercised at 5 Everett Street. The seating is 0. Requested hours and the hours to be approved are Sunday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., Monday, 11:30 a.m. until 11 p.m., Tuesday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. Thank you very much, ma'am, and good luck.
Thank you.
That concludes that item. The next item on the agenda is item number 3, 21 Revere Beach Boulevard, LLC. 21 Revere Beach Boulevard. Michael Aldi is the manager. This is an application for an all alcohol restaurant license. The application for 21 Revere Beach Boulevard, LLC. Michael Aldi, LLC manager, for an all alcohol license to be exercised at 21 Revere Beach Boulevard. The requested seating is 180, consisting of 120 seats inside and 60 seats outside. The requested hours are Sunday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. And the requested entertainment is TV, radio, DJ, amplifiers, karaoke, vocal instrumental music. Is there someone here on behalf of 21 Revere Beach Boulevard, LLC?
Good afternoon, Mr. Selvich and fellow commissioners. My name is Chris Kreidler. I'm with D'Ambrosio Brown, 14 Proctor Ave, Revere. How's everyone today?
Pretty good. Good to see you, Chris.
I'm here as well, Michael Aldi. I represent 21 Revere Beach Boulevard, LLC.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aldi. Can you, gentlemen, explain what you plan to do with the restaurant licenses and other licenses that you've requested?
Absolutely. So Mr. Aldi is obviously part of the Aldi family who have introduced a lot of many very successful restaurants to the Boston area, including the very successful Drift restaurant at 500 Ocean Avenue. He is opening a new restaurant, which is a contemporary American steakhouse and seafood, basically emphasizing on local proteins. The license is to allow him to serve alcoholic drinks, all alcohol with the food to basically help enhance the food. Now so obviously they're hoping to continue in the tradition of Drift and helping revitalize the Revere Beach area by bringing another destination dining experience to the area.
Very good, Counselor. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
Yes, I just for the viewing audience, when you give the address of 21 Revere Beach Boulevard, exactly what end of the beach is that at?
So that is the southern end of the beach. That is basically just north of the Elliott Circle Rotary.
Okay. And my other question, actually, the building's coming out beautiful. My other question is vocal and instrumental music. When you say instrumental music, are you saying that at some point you're going to have groups coming in, or
No,
what?
so at Drift in the summer, I merely, one piece acoustical, perhaps a singer, and it's very quiet. It's for background music. And I've also in the past used live saxophone players. I have a very talented sax player from Berkeley that performs for us. It's during dinner hours, so it's never late at night.
Okay, thank you. I was just curious as to,
No,
What-
so I have to be courteous to my landlord as well, who owns all the apartments above, and we have a mutual agreement that music needs to be only background, not loud, no large bands, or technically we're probably never going to use a DJ. That's not what we're looking for.
great. That was my only concern because of the tenants in the building, but
Exactly, yeah. I share that thinking too.
It's
it's gonna-
it's a very similar layout to Drift. We're on the second level of the 500 Ocean building, and we have 4 floors above us of tenants. So you have to be courteous of them because you don't want them complaining. It'll be an issue.
Sure. That's all I have for questions. Thank you.
No problem.
Commissioner Messina?
My concerns was addressed by my fellow Commissioner Granasso.
I'm sorry?
I said my concerns were addressed already by my fellow Commissioner Granasso. I had
Very-
concerns about the live music, and I was wondering if they were going to bring a band in or something of the sort. So I have no further questions.
Very good. Now, the only issue that has been brought to my attention really is the seating issue and the number of seats, and whether or not the physical space is going to allow for that number of seating. And
I could speak on this. I've been dealing with architects, engineers. I've opened communication with DCR. We are seeking approval from DCR. We have it formally via email, but I'm getting something in writing for you guys. As of right now, those 60 seats fit on our property line, and it was drawn by Arrow Street as well as LYF Architects. And we have an additional seating plan that shows seating on DCR property that they have in their reviewing right now.
very good. I mean, I would hope that perhaps we could make whatever decision we have today and leave the seating open, the seating question open, because other people are going to have to weigh in on that, being, building department, the health department, fire. Those people are going to have to sign up.
So fire department, building department, they all are on the same page. These 60 seats are on my property line. They're okay with that plan. They said if I'd like to put additional seating on DCR property, they want formal, they want something formal in writing, which we're working together. Redgate and myself are working with them to get it in formal writing.
And at that point in time, we would also be able to file an amendment to include the additional seating that is going to be on the DCR property.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Do you have anything else to add, Counselor?
I do not believe so. I believe that the lease actually indicates that the property itself is 4,200 square feet, which should allow, if you take 60% of the area for dining area, it should allow the 120 seats inside as well.
Very good. Thank you, Counselor. I'll close this section of the hearing. Are there any other proponents? Is there anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of the restaurant license? I don't see or hear anyone. I will close that section. Are there any opponents? Is there anybody opposed to the issuance of this restaurant license? Seeing and hearing none, I will close that section. Do one of my fellow commissioners like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve, knowing that on this approval, we will be getting a sign off from the local inspectional services such as the fire department, the health on the seating. So I would make a motion to approve, waiting for those approvals from the boards.
Very good. I would second that motion to approve this contingent upon getting all the necessary sign-offs going forward, obviously. So
Yeah, I'm gonna need all those signups anyway when getting my CO. So, you know, I talk closely with Paul Cheever and Louis Cavanaro, working to get what they need, you know, in order to do this successfully and safely. So we will get you everything you guys need, and then Chris and D'Ambrosio and Brown will get you the amendment, and then we should be good.
well, that'll make it a very smooth and successful operation, Mr. Aldi. I hope you do well there.
I appreciate it, guys.
It's a great spot. So the application is approved. The application of 21 Revere Beach Boulevard LLC, Michael Aldi LLC manager, for an all alcohol restaurant license to be exercised at 21 Revere Beach Boulevard. The requested seating is 180, consisting of 120 seats inside, 60 seats outside. Requested hours are Sunday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. And the requested entertainment is TV, radio, DJ, amplifiers, karaoke, and vocal and instrumental music. Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you very much for your time.
Good luck to you.
Item number 4, Giorgio Liquor Mart, LLC, DBA Gio's Liquors, 765 Broadway. Yusuf Alberjali is the manager. This is an application for a location and pledge of license for an all alcohol package store license. The application of Giorgio Liquor Mart, LLC, DBA Gio's Liquors, Yusuf Alberjali, manager, for a pledge of license and change of location to 765 Broadway, Revere, Mass. From 653 Broadway, Revere, Mass. Is there someone here for Giorgio Liquor Mart, LLC?
Yes, my name is Attorney Carrie Ann Green. I'm from D'Ambrosio Brown, 14 Proctor Avenue, Revere, and I represent the applicant, Giorgio Liquor Mart, LLC. My client is seeking a change of location for his package store license from 653 Broadway to 765 Broadway. He runs a reputable liquor store at his current location and is seeking a change of location to a larger space due to the growth in his business and the increased demand from his customers. He's also requesting a pledge of his license to his lender, the Savings Bank, as collateral for the commercial financing he's seeking to fund the purchase and renovation of his new location. I'm happy to answer any questions you have, and I'd ask for your support.
Thank you very much, Counselor. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
Well, I have several questions. We're moving from Cushman Ave down to Revere Street, am I correct?
No, so we're
Revere
moving,
Broadway.
oh, from the intersections?
Yes,
Or, yeah, it's roughly, I think, 0.2 miles down the street, yes.
okay. My reason for questioning this is the need of putting another liquor establishment, and I know you're only maybe 2 blocks up the street, but my concern is Revere Street, Malden Street, in that area. At this time, within 2 blocks, we now have 8 liquor licenses. We have a project that's right by that, which formerly used to be a drugstore. I guess it's a check cashing place now. And the children walk by there every day to go to school. In the meantime, we have 8 establishments that these children will walk by just to get to the Lincoln School. I don't know if that's the place I would want to see another liquor license. We've also given out a liquor license, I believe it was 2 months ago, right across from Anthony's on Malden Street and Broadway. To the left of that, we just gave out another liquor license. So those 2 corners will have liquor establishments. Across the street has 2 liquor establishments. You'll walk up the street 20 steps to another full liquor club, a restaurant on the left-hand side. I just think we've oversaturated the children in this city of walking by liquor stores to get to school, which I've counted 8 of them. And with this establishment, I have to be honest with you, in that particular area that I'm talking about, there's been problems with nips. And of course, we can't really pinpoint, but there's only 2 package stores there that sell the nips. They're all over the place. The people in that area are complaining about nips on their property, by the school, right outside of that garage there. There's just such an insaturation for these kids that it comes to a point where we have to start saying these licenses have to be spread out a little bit more than we have. Although this is only a couple of blocks up, it is across from another liquor establishment. So all the children that come down Cushman Ave, 2 liquor establishments, they come down, they go to Malden Street, 5 more to pass. I think we're sending the wrong message of putting there. This liquor license is doubling the size of the establishment they're in now. So we're doubling the size at this package store. I'm concerned about the lighting that you're going to have in that store. I'm concerned about the nips again. I'm concerned about kids. There's a bus stop right there with a bench that the kids wait for buses. I just don't think that's the place that I think a full package store needs to be. And again, if you walk right down the street, we have Blanche's, huge store. So it's not like there's a need for another package store. We have package stores that whole section. So with the calls I've gotten, I do encourage people that call and are so concerned for their children that they attend these meetings and address them. But I don't know at this point if anybody is in the audience. But I have to say, I would hope that this board takes a good look at this, realizes, and I think, we all live close by. We know the traffic of children in that area. What's it going to cause? How many more cars are we bringing to that area again? The opening is early in the morning. The kids are coming off from school. I just don't think sending our kids off to school and walking by liquor 8 times before getting to school. So I have to say, I don't think it's a great location for this particular license. So I'm willing to listen to my colleagues.
Thank you, Commissioner Guanasso. Commissioner Osina, do you have anything any questions for the counselor, or?
How does your client plan to address the parking issue in this particular location, because as my fellow commissioner noted, it's already a highly congested area. You have a restaurant almost adjacent, right next door to it, that serves at a capacity, and across the street there's another restaurant that just increased its seating as well. There's also another liquor establishment, as my fellow commissioner noted. So how does he's going into a bigger space. How do they plan to address the parking issue and the congestion in that area, right on that corner?
Sure. So this space actually has more parking than his current location does. There's parking to the rear and to the side, which would be used by any patrons for the establishment. My understanding is that the premises is currently used as I think you might have mentioned a check cashing business, which I don't, know that has the most reputable reputation. It's not encouraging the best use of the property. And I understand my client is, very good in the community. He strives to have an honest business, not cause issues, address any issues that do come up. So if lighting or any issues like that were an issue, I'm sure he's more than happy to cooperate in any, adjustments that would need to be made.
And what about the fact that we already have an issue, again, as my fellow commissioner noted, with the NIPS, literally litters the sidewalk. There's some real concern there that essentially putting an establishment that will aid to that will create more of an issue. Has your client thought about that in terms of the sanitary or the issue of the NIPS possibly, littering the sidewalk?
I'm sure he'd be willing to cooperate and, whatever would be necessary to try to mitigate the NIPS, increasing in that area. I did time it out. His current location is only 3 minutes away from this location, so it's roughly in the same area anyways. So I don't think it's really going to be adding too much, to the area.
And excuse me, just one point. They have had some problems in the past, just to clarify that. We have had to call them in 2-3 occasions that there were problems. And to be honest with you, I don't think they really resolved them the way I would have expected them to. And I know you're saying 3 minutes away, you're right, but you're moving to a highly congested area now. Where they are, they're kind of out of the way, actually. It's not too bad. A lot of people go by, they don't even notice them there. You're going right in the spot highlight of Revere Street, Broadway. So there is a huge difference, although it is 3 minutes, it's a huge difference. Rose Street Project's children have to go by there 2-3 times a day to get to school, or anyone that lives in that Revere Street area. And we know it's highly populated with children. We can go by the numbers we have at the Lincoln School. So there has been problems. I have spoke to them about NIPS, and I can tell you, I've walked down the driveway after speaking to them, and there were empty NIPS right in the driveway. So, and my one other question, I'm sorry, Commissioner. My one other question, you say you have parking in the back. Does that belong to that business?
Yes.
It does. It does not belong to the funeral parlor. So
No, I think that's separate. They have separate parking that's accessed from, I think, the left of the funeral parlor.
Yes, I do know they have that, but I know on many occasions they do use that parking lot. Whether they have permission or not, I don't know, because their parking lot fills up. So,
also, I just have to mention, if you don't mind, I owned the store for a year exactly. You might have an issue with the previous owner in the past. For the record, I'm the owner, Yusuf Aburjali. So you might have had an issues in the past with the previous owner, but I've been here for 1 year exactly. It's been 1 year, and I tell you, there's none of the issues have been come up to me and I didn't resolve, or the NIP issues. You can walk around the entire store, around my building right now. It's a lot cleaner what it used to be. So just wanted to put those in as an input. As far as the parking at the new location, I do own the parking lot on the side of the building. It doesn't belong to the funeral home. So
Thank you, sir. One other question. Now, there's a hairdresser's next door. Do they have use of that parking lot also? The hairdresser adjacent to the property?
that I'm planning to move to 765,
Yes.
you mean?
Yes.
No, the parking belongs to the building that I'm just purchasing right now. Just belongs to that building.
Okay, but the parking lot goes after the hairdresser, okay? And now another business is there. I'm sorry, the hairdresser isn't there. So you have the check cashing, you have another building, and then the parking is where you pull in. So you're telling
Yeah.
me this building, the building right in the middle before your parking lot, they don't use it?
No, it's all empty. The building right now is vacant. 765 Broadway is completely vacant right now. There's no tenants in there. I'm buying it vacant property. So
So-
there's not going to be another tenants in there, just us, if we get
You're
approved,
not
hopefully.
Use the side building. Is that what you're telling me? You're not gonna use that side building? You have the check cashing. Now, sir, there's a
Right.
building next door. Are you gonna be using that?
Yes, we're going to be using the entire building. Yes,
That's
Okay.
gonna be part of the check cashing.
yes. It's going to be
So
all
you're-
open up one space. Yes, one liquor
you're
store, the
ex-
entire building. Yes,
You're expanding this building then?
not expanding. It's the entire building is divided into 3 spaces right now, 3 different businesses. It's going to be just a liquor store. The entire building is just going to be the liquor store. No other business is going to be in the building other than
Okay.
just a liquor
Does
store.
that include is that 747 Broadway?
765 Broadway.
Okay, but the right next door is.
There's nobody there.
It's just one building, and I think it used to have 3 tenants.
3
different
stores,
units
yes.
in it, and it's gonna just be one tenant, one unit, one business. It's not gonna have the 3 businesses that were there before.
Well, I think, seriously, I just want an answer on this question. There is a separate building. There is check cashing
Is,
and the building next door.
There is a building next door. I think the
one
address
that-
is
The
747.
fajitas building, or?
I live in the area. There's a building next door. It used to be a hairdresser's. And then it
They gone, man.
house.
They gone.
Right.
Next to
Okay,
the
But
cashew.
I'm asking you about that building.
excuse me,
That park
Commissioner,
point with it.
excuse me, Commissioner, maybe I can make this a little simpler. That entire block, the hairdresser, the one-time headquarters of the political candidates,
Right.
that whole building is going to be a liquor store, okay?
Correct.
There's only gonna be one business on that entire corner. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
And where's the entrance to that building gonna be?
We're gonna make an entrance in the parking lot. All the entrances where it is right now on Broadway, we're looking to block the entrances. All the entrance, the main entrance is gonna be an opening in the parking lot side for handicap access. All the customer goes into from the parking lot and get into the building. So no other access on Revere Street or anywhere else.
So when we drive down Broadway, right now, we're looking at the front of a check cashing place. We're gonna
Yes,
on Broadway, and we're gonna look at what? Windows,
just windows. Yes, correct.
advertisements in them.
Correct. Windows and the side of Revere Street, on Revere Street, I believe the address of the 46 Revere Street is going to be complete wall, block, no glass.
Okay,
No entrances, nothing.
the only access is gonna be when you pull into the parking lot, you're gonna be able to go into the back door, now the
Correct.
front door, and then you can shop in the entire facility. And then
Correct.
go out the back door again and get in your car. and-
Correct.
Are you gonna have a curb cut at both ends of that, or is it gonna be a curb cut just as it exists today?
It's going to be just the way it is right now. In
Okay,
and out the same place. No curb cuts or anything.
no exit on Revere Street for the vehicles,
No
right?
exit on Revere Street, no, sir.
Okay. All right. I mean, does that answer your questions, Commissioner Guanasso?
And
It doesn't-
honestly, I just,
No, sir,
sorry.
it does not answer my questions. I don't know if Commissioner Rossini if it answers his question. All I'm asking is the side building. Obviously, it's a very small building. There's no way you can just walk in it. Are you taking that down, or you're gonna just make this a huge package store?
It's only the whole entire building is 2,384 square feet, 2,300. It might look big, but the back of it, it's kind of an angle. It's an angle building in the back. It looks
Right.
huge, but it's only 2,300 square feet of building. That's the entire building. You're talking about the hair salon, the Western Union, and the other office was used in the back. That's the entire building is 2,300.
Okay, so no matter when I go by there, you are not gonna rent any
No, man.
piece of this property to
No.
anybody else but your liquor store?
No, just us. Correct, man. Nobody else. And
Okay.
that's why we're doing the entrance, block the entrance on Broadway Revere. We're blocking all the entrances on the Revere Street side as well. And we're only putting a main entrance in the parking lot just to go into the liquor store. There's no other tenants going to be there except just a liquor store.
That was my question, because actually someone called me about that piece of property. So I'm wondering, why are they interested in that small store there if you're taking it over? So you're
No, we're
not,
taking it all. And
okay,
I promise you, I mean, you can ask the neighbors here, believe me, first thing I do when my staff comes is go around the entire store and pick any myth around my store. And you can see, anytime you drive by my store, you can see, we go all the way down to the end of where the car keys now, where the old flower shop is. We go all the way down, make sure all entire building is nice and clean and no nips. You can ask all my neighbors here. So I did change the store a lot. I cleaned up the store. I'm sure you guys drive by it all the time. It's a big difference in here. And we haven't had a single issue, thank God, from March of last year to March of this year. Not even a single issue in the store.
well, that's good. That's how it
Okay.
should.
Very
Thank
good.
Right. And I add something to it as well. Before the store, I was actually in Revere for 24 years, owned Domino's Pizza down the street. I owned the store Domino's Pizza before my business here. So I've been in the city for a good from 1995. I owned Domino's here down the street on Broadway Revere. So I've been in the city for a long time. It's not just been in the city. Last year, opened a liquor store. So I had the store here. And previously, I owned a lot of Domino's stores in the past. I owned 11 Domino's stores. So I have the business experience. And that's why, thank God, we're doing great in here. And I tell you, reputation in the store and no issues. We haven't been in front of the board for any reason or any underage issues or anything. I take it highly, highly, on any of these issues in here, as far as kids coming to the store or anything. So I've been in the city for a long time. And as I mentioned, over 20 years in the business. So
That's
Well,
that's very
certainly
comfortable.
Never had any complaints from Domino's, that's for sure.
correct,
Just
correct.
the alcohol business is a lot different. It's a little bit harder.
Yeah.
So,
I sold all my stores 2 years ago, and that's why I went in front of the board and I purchased the store. And the first thing they told me, there was issues in the store, and I promised to fix it. And you can see, I never had to go in front of the board for any reason. There's no reason for anything. We open on time, close on time. We open at 9 o'clock, and most likely when we open at 9, most of my things here is to get my delivered. My alcohol here is at 9 o'clock. That's why we open at 9. It's not because I have to open at 9 because to serve customer that early. We open at 9 basically to have our delivery here before the customers show up. We have a few customers that walks in here, but not like a lot of customers. As far as kids, I know you mentioned that the kids already went to school around the time I'm already here at 9. So.
okay.
And also, I know you have an issue, with the location. I mean, we're already here, and we're just moving a block away, not even a block down the street. And I can tell you, I'm here every single day, and I take my business very, very. I don't tolerate underage, zero in here. I don't have any product. Sometimes they ask me for a chocolate bar. We don't even have it. Why? I don't want to attract any kind of kids in here. Chips, I don't bring to my store.
Well,
So.
kids be allowed in the liquor store. What time do you get your deliveries, and where will your trucks come to deliver this alcohol?
So my plan is, as I mentioned, to open up the parking lot, put the 2 windows and a door. So we're gonna have 4 windows and a door, in the parking lot. Also, we are gonna open an opening for a delivery, to receive deliveries from the back door, what's called where the curve is. So the truck will actually pull in and have our delivery going through the back door. So that way we don't interfere with, the blocking the street. As far as the truck blocking the street, we don't interfere with any of, just they're gonna pull into the parking lot or pull in front of the building and go into the deliveries to the back. So that's why I decided to close all the doors. I want to maintain where the customer come in and out, as far as, who's coming in, who's coming out. Don't have 2-3 doors, one on the side. So that's why we go with just 1 door. And as far as emergency door in the back as well, just we can use that as an emergency door in
So
case
what
of fire.
What time do you usually get your deliveries?
We got them around 9 o'clock. The latest, I try to ask him not to get deliveries after 10 o'clock. And I don't, I try to not accept any deliveries on Thursday and Friday. So I try to have I come in the morning on Monday morning, I set all my deliveries, and I hope for all of them to come by Tuesday, maybe the latest by Wednesday. Everybody will be out of here by Wednesday. Like today, we just got 1 small order. If the most of it's just a small order we receive on Wednesday. But I don't want to be, in the store receiving everyday orders. It's
Right.
kind of tiring too. So
No,
the reason I hope, you consider this, it's more for a storage space. It's not more for business or, it's more for a storage. The store here is about 1,100 square feet here. And it's a little bit tight as far as business. And, as I mentioned, I was in Damas for 27 years and I took this business. I currently, I have a family to feed, and that's why I'm here to want to do the right thing for this, for my business and also for the community.
Well, I hope you consider that the hours of delivery, school hours, I would not want to see any deliveries before 9 o'clock, just to make sure our children are safe. That my main concern is the children of the city. You're going into a very high residential area.
I tell you something, I have 5 kids too. So whatever I want, I don't want anything to happen to other children as well. I have 5 kids, so I know what it is for children. And, I'm on hand, business on hand here as operation. I don't have a manager, I'm the manager. I'm here every single day. If you pass by, you drive by, you're gonna see my car here every single day. I do come in here almost, I don't want to say 7, but at least 6 days a week I'm here. So
Good.
I train him very well, and I really do a great, a good job in here. And you can walk here anytime. You can see the difference between the old owner and my operation here. You can see a huge difference in the store. And you can ask all the reputation of my businesses for since 1995 in the city. Nobody have said anything or I have to do for any issues or concerns with any of the cities, not only Revere. I've been in stores in Peabody, Dorchester, high crime areas, whatever, so I do take my business very seriously.
Well, I'm not questioning you as a businessman. I'm sure you're doing a great job. You're right. We haven't heard from you since you've been there. My concern again is about the children and the congestion in that area. Has nothing to do with you as far as being a good businessman.
And
I'm
I
glad,
can promise you, I'll do my best. I'm sure more than my best to address any concern or might come up in the future. I'm not going to say I'm a perfect man, but any issues that do come up, I'm willing to fix it. Whatever it is, I'm willing to take, pride and fix it. I still own other properties in the city of Revere here, and we never have to deal with any issues or tenants. So we're always on top of it. And I can promise you we can take care of any issues that might come up now or in the future. As far as lighting as well, I have one of the best electrician that he does all my real estates. As far as lighting, I'd be more than happy to share if you talk about the parking lot. As far as neighbors, I'm all aware of these issues, not just now, from other businesses that I dealt. So we have a good idea about lighting in the parking lot. Doesn't go to, to the neighbors. And so we have a good ideas about this. So I hope you give me an opportunity. And I, as I mentioned, whatever it is now or later, I'm here to fix it. And I'm sure I will take care of it right away.
Thank you.
Thank
sir. Commissioner Gatto, do you have any other questions?
No, I have no other questions.
Very good. Commissioner Osina, do you have any other questions?
No, I'm satisfied with the representation of council and the applicant.
Very good. I will close this section of the hearing. Are there any proponents? Is there anyone that would like to speak on behalf of Geo's Liquors? I don't see or hear anybody. I will close that section. Is there any opposition? Is there anyone opposed to the application of a change of location for Giorgio Liquor Mart? I don't see or hear anyone. We'll close that section. I'll just, for the record, say that, the gentleman has conducted business in Revere for a long time. This plan looks very solid. It seems as, he's addressed some of the concerns. I mean, I know we always have concerns about the lighting and the litter. But I think that, his track record is such that he will address issues as they arise. So I'm comfortable with this move. I understand, the aspect of a saturation point of liquor stores and liquor places, but by the same token, they are fairly well subdued as far as their advertising, and that would really be the only thing, is not to blanket the windows with a bunch of come on liquor ads that kids see walking to school every day. But other than that, I mean, I have no problem with this move, so I would make a motion to approve it.
I would second that motion.
I will like to be recorded as being opposed, only not for any reason. I think the guy runs a great business, but the congestion in the area and my concern about the children having to see 8 liquor establishments on the way to school. So therefore, I'm going to have to vote no.
Very good. The application for Giorgio Liquor Mart is approved. The application for a change of location and pledge of license for an all alcohol package store license is approved. The change of location will be from 765 Broadway, Revere, Mass.
That
to-
is 653, right? 653.
Yes, I'm sorry, I read it backwards. We'll be going from 653 Broadway to 765 Broadway. And that change of location is approved. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
The next item is item number 6. Kenneth G. LaFosse, DBA Brothers Auto Body.
Commissioner, did we do number 5? Are we taking up 5?
I believe number 5 has asked to be removed from this month's agenda.
No, we discussed that yesterday. They are on the
So we're keeping
agenda.
them on. Yeah.
We will put them back on the agenda, I guess.
We had removed them from the agenda. Sorry about that. Let's go to number 5. Item number 5, Rice Passions, Inc., 163 Squire Road. Khan Wacharajan, sorry if I mispronounced your name, President. This is an application of Rice Passions, Inc., 163 Squire Road. Khan Watanaj, Yakan, I'm sorry, for transfer of an all alcohol restaurant license from Suntour Mountain, Inc. Said license to be exercised at the same location. The operation to remain the same with requested seating remaining at 50. The hours remaining Sunday from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m., Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. The entertainment will remain cable TV and radio. Is there someone here from Rice Passions?
Hi, my name is Lara Copel. I'm an attorney representing the applicant Rice Passions and Khan Wiwachakan. He would like to purchase the restaurant currently operated by Centronaut Inc. As a Thai restaurant, and he would like to continue to operate it as a Thai restaurant with the transfer of the liquor license at that location.
Very good. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions of Mr. Wiwachakan?
No, again, I've gone through the application. Seems like everything's in order, and we've got all the approvals from the inspectional services, so I have no questions.
Very good. Commissioner Osina, do you have any questions?
I don't. I had an opportunity to review the 55-page application and all supportive documentation. Looks like everything's all set. So I would certainly move to approve it.
Thank you very much. I have just a couple quick questions. Does Mr. Wiwachakan have a experience in the liquor business?
I have. I used to serve alcohol when I was 18 to 21. I worked at in the town called Ipswich. It's the restaurant is called Spice Thai Cuisine. I was the waiter there. I serve alcohol, beer and wine. Yes, I do have some experience, sir.
Are you tip certified or have any training in serving or monitoring the service of alcohol? Other
I
than
am tip certified.
I'm sorry, you cut out. I'm sorry, you cut out. We didn't hear your question.
other than that Spice Thai thing from 18 to 21, does he have experience with in the liquor industry, either serving, tips training, or any other type of training regarding alcohol service?
I just took the tips classes and I passed the exam as well, sir. I just did that last week.
Okay, very good.
And I was able to score the 92% of 100.
All right, well, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. I have no other questions. I will close this section of the hearing. And I will ask for any proponents. Is there anyone else that would like to speak on behalf of the application for the transfer? I don't hear or see any, so we will close that section. And I'll open it up to any opponents. Is there anybody that would like to speak in opposition of the transfer of this all alcohol restaurant license? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. I have some reservations, but would any of my fellow commissioners like to make a motion on this?
Your reservations would be,
It's just the experience factor. I mean, that's given me a little cause for concern. We're transferring an alcohol license to someone who really hasn't really been involved in alcohol service and, just got involved in a little tips training. So, I mean, that may be fine.
okay.
So that would be my only reservation. So if you don't have that same reservation, or you want to?
I have that same reservation. I feel the same way you do. I don't know how much experience he's had. And when he's there as manager, who else is with you?
Sorry, our connection is cutting in and out. I think you asked about a liquor license manager. It's actually his sister and she is on the call. Her name is Form Proper Wiwachikon. She's on this call. She also is TIPS trained to it. I
And
think I
what's
see
her,
her.
what's her experience?
I believe she's TIPS trained in it, similar to,
And she used to be a waitress, full-time waitress serving BNY.
yeah, she also was a waitress. She's on the call, I think. I don't.
Hello?
How are you guys?
Very, your name and address for the record, please?
Yep, Porn Papa, what you can?
Okay. You're gonna be working at Rice Fashion?
Yeah. Sorry, repeat that again?
Are you going to be working at Rice Fashions?
Yes, I will.
And you have had experience in alcohol service?
Yes, when I was a waitress also.
Very good. Have you received training?
Yep, I am TIPS certified.
Very good. Thank you very much. I don't have any other questions. Do my fellow commissioners have any questions?
Have you ever been manager at any one of these restaurants you've worked at?
Well, in the beginning, for my dad's restaurant, Sign Bistro. And then now I am a nursing supervisor.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
When did you obtain your TIP certification?
Just yesterday.
Okay, I suspect in anticipation of this application coming before the board? Is that accurate, ma'am?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
I said, and I suspect it was in anticipation of your application being presented before this board?
Yes.
All right, well, I think we have about as much information as we're going to get. And I feel all right about it. I will make a motion to approve. Is there anyone that will second it?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. The motion is approved. The application for transfer of all alcohol restaurant license of Rice Passions Inc. at 163 Squire Road. John Wiwachikon, President, for a transfer of the all alcohol restaurant license from Sunturnut. Said license to be exercised at the same location. The hours are to remain the same. The requested seating is to remain the same. The hours will be Sunday, 12 p.m. to 10 p.m., Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. The entertainment will be the same as it is, cable TV and radio. This application is approved. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. That concludes item number 5. Item number 6, Kenneth G. LaFosse, DBA Brothers Auto Body, 15 Naples Road. Kenneth G. LaFosse, manager. This is an application for a Class 2 motor vehicle dealer's license. The application of Kenneth G. LaFosse, DBA Brothers Auto Body, for a Class 2 motor vehicle dealer's license, said license to be exercised at 16 Naples Road. The hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The requested number of cars for sale to be 2. This is continued from a February meeting at the request of the applicant. Is there anyone here on behalf of Kenneth G. LaFosse, DBA Brothers Auto Body?
Hi, yes, good afternoon. I'm Kenneth LaFosse.
Your name and address for the record, please, sir.
Kenneth LaFosse, 44 Timber Lane, Topsail, Mass.
Thank you very much, sir. And can you tell us what your plans are for this Class 2 motor vehicle dealer's license?
Well, I've been here since 1988. Had my license until last year. Had some problems with our fire department, and I brought everything up to date. I purchased this building in 2018. I did everything, had the fire department sign off, building inspector sign off, electricians, everybody signed off on it. This is 90% of my business is buying and selling cars. I buy cars, I fix them, and I sell them. I don't really have, a dealership that I display my cars out front. I've been doing this for the last 30 years here. I never had a problem. I just, some things got a little messed up, and I apologize for what happened. I just want to, it's a big part of my business here, and, without this, I'm really hurting. I need my license back.
Very good. Thank you very much. Any of my fellow commissioners have any questions? I don't see or hear any of my.
Yeah.
I just want to review a couple of things. Just come back to me. I may have some questions.
Okay. Well, I have a couple of questions, and you say that you've never had any problems at that location, but we have 3 convictions for crimes related to the business of engaging in a car dealership. You have a bribery charge from 210, false statements on a motor vehicle registration application in 217, and also altering a motor vehicle ID. I mean, those kinds of issues go right to the heart of being a Class 2 motor vehicle dealer. And in my mind, it goes to, that's the kind of thing we want to root from the business. So those, in my mind, are disqualifications. And so I don't think I could support voting for this application because we have those prior convictions for things relative to the same business, as well as pretty much a history of just openly scoffing at the rules and ordinances of the city and the commission. You've been asked not to park places and you leave cars there. You've been asked to move cars from underneath the clear channel thing. You don't do that. It's just been one thing after another. And so to me, this is a disqualifier. So I can tell you right now, I don't plan on voting for this license, plain and simple. And that's my reasoning. Any of my other fellow commissioners want to have any comment?
Well, I do. I agree with you, Commissioner. And it is true. I don't understand why Mr. LaFosse doesn't listen. When you get a license, you're given a license for a specific area of your property. You can't use other properties for selling vehicles. It's not licensed. And I think we've explained that to you. As far as Clear Channel, I think they should be being fined also. I think they're getting away with it because they don't have a license. I've said it before. I think the city council probably should step in and maybe take away their license for having the billboards there. It seems like everybody in that area doesn't go by the rules and regulations. And I personally am very offended that many times this board has spoke with you and asked you to go by the rules and regulations. And for some reason, you think because they give you permission, you can do it. Well, your license doesn't say you can. After saying all that, your license has been suspended for 1 year. I don't know if I would look at that as your penalty. You had a 1 year suspension for not doing what you're supposed to do. So at that point, I'm looking at it as maybe you've already done your time. So I'd just like to hear my other commissioners how they would wrap this up. And, but I do feel you've had a year license suspension.
Just
Clear.
Mr.
You
Lu,
went to the registry of motor vehicles and tried to register vehicles, indicating that he did have a license. So he's misrepresented during that period of time as well. So it's not as clear cut as a 1-year suspension or a 1-year anything. There have been ongoing issues throughout that year. I'm sorry to cut you off, Commissioner Osina.
I think that's exactly what I was going to point out. I believe that we received communication from the Revere Police Department indicating that Mr. LaFarce attempted to register some motor vehicles under a license that was not, in fact, active at the time. But I guess for me, as a new commissioner on this board, I would like to give him the benefit of at least having the opportunity to explain to the commission what would be different this time around. He's obviously held a license before and he's had issues, and unfortunately, to some degree, the reputation surrounding that precedes him. But I would like to give him an opportunity to at least highlight to us on record if this license were granted, and given the benefit of the fact that I am new to the commission and I am familiar with the history on paper, but I'd like an opportunity to hear from him directly what would be different this time in terms of his operation and the various issues that he has had within the city.
Oh, okay. I've been here since '88. In 2010, there was a state trooper that was coming in my shop, inspecting cars. I had nothing to do with it. At the time, my mother passed away. I was living at my father's house, taking care of my father. He had Alzheimer's. It was just a business decision to plead guilty on a $50 bribe back then in 2010 or 11. I didn't want to do it, but it was just taking a chance of, and it was a $50 bribe. From then, Mrs. Granasso knows, same 2 cops from 2010 and on me. I'm not saying it's the cops, but they tried to take my Bill's license. They went to Revere about doing salvage cars and all this. In 2016, I got a car inspected. They took my paperwork. They wouldn't give me my paperwork back. I still have the car. I never changed any numbers in the car. I never did anything to it. All right. I spent 45 days in jail. It's under appeal. I have attorney Carmen Lapori is representing me. It's on appeal. I got my license back. Then the fire chief came and they started with the fire alarms and all this stuff here. I mean, I spent thousands of dollars here. My dealer's license is my business. Without my dealer's license, I'm out of business. I suffered a year. I've been borrowing my brother's dealer's license. I mean, I'm struggling. I'm really struggling now. If you just give me another chance, I'll show you that, whatever I do, I really never had a problem until, with this one cop that kept on taking my paperwork and, I still have the car. I'm still driving the car. I never took any value numbers off the car. Okay, it's paper issue. All right. If I changed numbers on the car, they would have taken the car. I never took numbers off a car. They said I have 2 cars that they said they fixed the 2011 instead of the 13. I still have both cars. I never took any numbers off a car. I never they said I falsified paperwork and swap numbers. I never, not swap numbers, remove numbers. Still have both titles, both cars, right? It's an ongoing issue. It's with the same cop since 2010. And I tell you, I apologize for the fire alarm. I get everything here squared away. I just purchased this building in 2018. I know this started in 2016, but I didn't own the building then. Al Fester owned the building, and I just ended up getting off of him, but he wouldn't let me do what I wanted to do here, until I bought the building. That's what I'm up against. I've been here since 1988, and I don't see what, this is a big part of my business, is, just fixing cars. I'm still fixing them, but I have to use other people's licenses and title them, and it's a big hassle. And trying to clean the place up. I mean, the place is clean up in here, at night. In the day, I do park under the sign, but the cars under the sign during the day, they're off the street. I mean, it's a short street here. There's a lot of business on the street. I keep the sign clean. If you want me to put a fence across the front of, where the guardrail is, I'll do that if that it'll take. I do have a contract with, Clear Channel. I gave the contract to, D'Ambrosio's, D'Ambrosio, and, found that they do have it. I keep the place clean. The place was a dump before I cleaned it up. It was all weeds and everything. And I just want to tell you that this is a big part of my business. It's going to hurt me, probably put me out of business if I don't get my license back. I mean, I'm really struggling for the past year with the COVID and all this stuff here going on. It just, I don't know what to do here. I can't move cars. I can't do anything. I don't have my bill plate. It's a big part of my business. I mean, I've been here. I don't know what else to tell you. Like I said, I apologize, for what happened on this system, but I couldn't put this kind of money in a building that I didn't own. And now I own it, and I did it. I did everything that I'm supposed to do here. I get spray boots, paint mixing rooms, fire alarms, everything. The only thing I don't have, which is on order, is the key box for the key for the alarm, for the fire department. But that's on it. That's coming. That's the only thing that's not done yet.
Did he answer the questions, Commissioner Alcina?
It does, and I'm happy that I was able to give him the floor. I know that there's some other portions of this that we need to address before we decide one way or the other.
We can close this section of the hearing and we can open it up for some proponents and see what, if you'd like, unless you have more questions.
I don't have any more questions. I would like to make a statement at the end.
Okay, very good. We'll close this section. Are there any proponents? Is there anybody out there that would like to speak on behalf of this applicant? I don't see or hear any. We will close that section. Are there any opponents? Is there anybody opposed to the application of Brothers Auto Body? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Just as a general discussion, I will say that we're talking about issues that relate right to the heart of a Class 2 dealer, altering motor vehicle documents and altering VIN numbers is right at the heart of the trust that goes into holding that license. And those types of crimes, I think, are disqualifying. And so that having been said, from my understanding, these convictions for these things, those appeals have been heard and the appeals have been denied. So I don't know where, where else to go with this. If any of my fellow commissioners would like to make a motion, I am open to hear it.
Can I say something?
I do agree with everything you've said, and I still not 100% sure. I mean, why has he still got the cars? Why does he still have the title? So I'm concerned that was he really found guilty that they're allowing this? I know Mr. Fossey, and I'm no friend of Mr. Fossey's, but I do know him. I do know people that bought cars from him, and I've never heard a bad word about him, other than this man does not listen to the rules and regulations of his license. That being said, and I don't want to talk out of line, but I think you're going to find within the next 2 weeks, the change that's going to happen on Naples Road, is gonna solve all the problems of illegally parking on Naples Road or using another piece of land, because I don't care who gives you permission. You cannot take that license and bring your cars to another area to sell. It's not licensed.
Mrs. Grenasso,
So
can I
at
say
this
something?
point, at this point, Kenny, I think I've heard it all. And I apologize, you did try to call me, but I would rather talk on the board. But I will, at this time, I will make a motion to give you back your license and give you another chance. But I will tell you, things are changing on Naples Road very shortly. And I'm not at liberty to say because right now, waiting for the last piece of papers to go through. So I don't think you're gonna be able to run the business the way you've been running it. So, and therefore, I do sympathize taking a business away from someone. So again, you've put me in another predicament. My board has worked hard to take this license and I've always tried to help you, but you haven't shown me that it's been worth it. I'm gonna give you another shot. I'm gonna make a motion to approve. And I hope I'm not embarrassed again by you not paying attention to the rules and regulations of your license. That's my motion. And I think the year suspension was well-deserved.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Mr. Chair, I'm not sure procedurally how this works because I'm certainly not prepared to second the motion. However, I'm not necessarily prepared to oppose it either. I humbly respect.
You could put a substitute motion if you have something else in mind.
Yeah, I was going to propose a substitute motion, but I'd like to say on the record that there is a benefit to having him have the floor and explain from his perspective what we've learned through other communications. I've had the benefit to hear my fellow commissioners speak from their perspective as well. And I feel like there's still some additional communications out there that, mainly, for instance, from the city solicitor that was going to write something up. There's information that I think we can gather from the fire department concerning the application as well. So I would actually move to postpone a decision on Mr. LaFoss's application to the next hearing, so we can get this information available to us. And I believe even Commissioner Granasso said there might be some communications that's not readily available as well. So I'm hesitant at this point to act one way or the other. I would hate to simply deny it or oppose it, but I'm cautious or hesitant to simply approve it either. So I would move to postpone it and to the next hearing, allow us to gather some more communications on this application and decide that.
So your substitute motion would be to continue this hearing for an additional 30 days to give the commission an opportunity to gather additional information. Is that your substitute motion?
That's correct. That's correct.
Very good.
How would you feel about granting him the license for 3 months, and then when he comes back, we review everything? The man is out of business, and I do hate to put anyone out of business. And another month, we're going to come back with the same things. What I'm saying is why I didn't want to bring up, it will have no bearing or anything to do with Mr. LaFosse with the changes that I'm understanding are coming. It has nothing to do with him. So I don't want to mislead people. Something else is coming out about him. No, it's about the whole street of Naples Road, I believe, will be changing. And I don't have the paperwork. It hasn't been finalized, but nothing to do with Mr. LaFosse. But again, I do feel very bad that he's out of business.
Well, I don't think that, you know, he hasn't shown any consideration to us about anything. And so I don't really feel the need to make any special considerations going that way. I mean, look, the record is clear. You've got convictions for things related to motor vehicle sales and dealing with the public. So, I mean, you know, you can do whatever you want. You know, I'm only one vote on the board. However, I would think that a motion to continue this for 30 days to obtain more information, if you're uncomfortable, would be appropriate. I don't think that a 30-day or 60-day or temporary license is appropriate at all.
I would agree with my fellow commissioner. I think that we would be going a little bit too far given the information that we have available to us. I think we should proceed a little bit more cautiously instead of, I would not want to be in a position to grant a license then have to take it away, where there's another subset of rules that we would have to adhere to. I say that we table the conversation until the next agenda meeting and allow the assistant city solicitor to provide us some more information. And I think there's some other communications out there that I think would be fruitful in deciding. I share your sentiment, Commissioner Granato. I would hate to see him out of business. He's been in operation since the 80s, and although we certainly don't agree with his business practices, but I also believe that you know, someone should be entitled to another opportunity. And given the length of time that has passed since he's held a valid license to operate in the city, should warrant us to take a real look at what it would look like, as you pointed out, Commissioner Canasso, under some new circumstances, what is operation, because it may be very well different. Even if he has his own agenda, the way that things are changing in that particular area might actually prevent, you know, add some, you know, added, you know, restrictions there that, you know, could benefit us all. So I would move to simply continue this particular conversation regarding his application until the next meeting, to allow us an opportunity to receive some more communications regarding Brothers Auto Body.
Okay, so that's in the form of a motion.
Yes, the motion, continue this hearing for 30 days for the commission to obtain more information.
I'll second that motion. I mean, obviously, he's not here due to our fault. He's here because of Mr. LaFosse, not the commission. I just was kind of hoping we could have resolved this today, but I'm more than happy to get the rest of the information and hear it again next month.
And I'm also even willing, and I'm not sure how my fellow commissioners feel about it, we could even call a special meeting before the 30 days. If things look, you know, promising for the Brothers Auto Body, and whatever communications that's out there that we receive seems like we can go ahead and confidently approve it, even if it's on a conditional basis. I would be open to even having a special meeting prior to our general meeting next month.
Well, Commissioner, I agree with you, but I guess where I differ, I would like to see a special meeting either way, whether it's going to be denied or approved, just so that we can resolve this and Mr. LaFosse can go and do what he has to do to get his license back in another way. But I would like to see it resolved as quickly as possible if we get the information, whether it's approved or it isn't.
Well, let me ask, what type of information would you be looking for?
Well, I don't know. I think Commissioner Orsina wants something from the city solicitor.
We
Is
got
that saying?
solicitor. We got a memorandum from the solicitor on 3/16/21.
I haven't seen that.
Okay.
I didn't get.
Commissioner Granato, did you see that memorandum?
No, I didn't.
We got from Daniel E. Doherty, the Assistant City Solicitor. It's the legal principles relative to renewal and revocation of Class 2 used motor vehicle dealer's license. And he spells out pretty succinctly what the options and what the issues are. I'm sorry you guys didn't see it. It was in the email. I don't know why that.
No,
I must have missed it.
I didn't receive it.
Yeah, I must have missed that.
Well, so I guess therein lies the story. So if you'd like, we could take a, we could operate on Commissioner Rosina's motion to adjourn the hearing for 30 days and then bring it up at our next scheduled meeting.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that as well.
Very good. So the motion is approved to end the meeting today and to continue this application hearing to our next scheduled meeting, which is, I believe, is April 15th. And at that time, we will have the information.
April 21st.
That's the 21st?
Yes.
I'm sorry. So April 21st would be our next scheduled meeting, and that's when we would take this up. And that's the meeting, that motion is approved. The next items on the agenda are license renewals. There are just a few, so I'll read them. The common victual licenses that are Broadway Pizza Inc., 266 Broadway, Sadhguru Hotel LLC, Quality Inn, 100 Morris Street, La Esquina del Sabor Inc., 1 Unity Avenue, Mass Trips Inc., DBA Esquite at 194 Shirley Avenue, La Matapanica Grill, 63B Revere Beach Boulevard, Drita Foods LLC, DBA Nick's Place, 64 Revere Beach Boulevard, La Oxequina LLC, 701 Broadway. Entertainment licenses that are renewed are Sadhguru Hotel, DBA Quality Inn, La Esquina del Sabor Inc., 1 Unity Avenue. An in-holder license that is renewed is Sadhguru Hotel LLC, DBA Quality Inn, 100 Morris Street, and a Class 2 motor vehicle license, which is renewed, is Metropolitan Acceptance Corp. at 1605 North Shore Road.
Excuse me, Chairman.
Motion to approve.
Yes, I'll second the motion. Those
And we also have a couple of communications.
yes, I see that. We have communication from the Alcohol Beverage Control Commission regarding the lifting of 40% cap on seating capacity in on-premise establishments. And also an advisory from the ABCC regarding music performances at all licensed establishments. So those advisories have been issued. That concludes the items on the agenda. Is there anything else that anyone else would like to bring up before we conclude?
No?
Very good. I would make a motion that we adjourn until April 21st.
I'll second the motion.
Very good. The motion is approved. Consider the meeting adjourned until April 21st, 2021.